What's up, guys? So today I'm going to be going over some of my personal collection cards that I've kept over the years. Some might have a backstory with them, but yeah, I've had a lot of people reach out to me lately and say, hey, we see you post cool cards. Like, what other cards do you have? So some of these cards, even my closest friends don't know I have, but I'm going to be doing a couple segments here and there, so this will be a little video series of different parts of my personal collection that I'll reveal to you guys and give a little story behind if there is one. But we'll start off strong. Today's episode, we're going to be doing e-reader cards that I have and silver border EX cards. So e-reader Pokemon cards, early 2000s, back when the Pokemon games first came out for the Game Boys and the Nintendo game systems. There was a e-reader adapter where you could buy physical packs of cards and it had a barcode on the card you can scan on the e-reader attachment for your Game Boy, and it would have a code that would digitally transfer an item or whatever from the card to the Game Boy. But back in the day when we were kids and these cards first came out, we would swipe the cards, beat them up. So the e-reader Pokemon cards, if you see the holo e-readers in person and they're clean, nice condition, I'd say without a doubt pick them up because they're hard to come by in good shape nowadays. But we'll start off, we got the Blastoise e-reader. I remember as a kid, me and my brother pulled this card. I think it was a reverse holo, but boy, this is one of my favorite e-reader cards, Expedition Blastoise. I have that in a CGC 10. Moving forward, same card, but this is that reverse foil. So the holo, instead of the picture being holo, the outside border of the text box is like a shiny holo, but this is a low pop card. I believe 30 or less of this card in a 10 exist. So pretty cool. Expedition Blastoise reverse holo. Another favorite card of mine. This might be my favorite e-reader artwork. Very nostalgic for me, but this is the Entei Aquapolis holo. Very nice, really cool rendition of the legendary dog Entei. And there's a trend. The cards that I usually fall in love with, I get multiples of. I also have that Entei super low pop as well. Reverse holo, Aquapolis, Entei. Another one I got about a year ago, but this is a very, very special card to me. Crazy energy. I mean, you gotta love this. This is the Aquapolis Tyranitar. Giving Godzilla vibes, ominous, evil, Team Rocket, Tyranitar in the mountains lurking up. But this one, guys, this is a really cool card. I loved back in the day when the Dark cards first came out, because originally they didn't have the Dark Pokemon type, but after Team Rocket and some of those movies, they introduced it on the card. When they first, the Neo series coming out with the black cards from the Dark energies, freaking peak. Another great card, really love anytime I see it raw, and it's a nice copy. I try to pick it up, but this is the Aquapolis Zapdos. Got this in a PSA 10. I also have another one of it, just because I liked it so much. This was one of my favorite arts from Aquapolis. I really like that set in general. I also have a clean PSA 9 of the Zapdos. So just a cool art breaking out from a lightning bolt. Really cool card. So moving on to the silver border, this is the EX era. There was a good couple range of sets that were a part of the EX era. It was a whole generation. They had silver border chase cards of popular Pokemon, and also later on introduced gold stars. But EX era is when WotC, Wizards of the Coast, the company that was originally printing Pokemon cards, their contract expired and Nintendo bought out Pokemon and therefore took over the rights. So EX era is when Nintendo took over Wizard of the Coast, the original yellow border Pokemon cards that we grew up on. But Yeah, these are mid 2000s era guys. Silver border EXs. This is probably the cream of the crop for me when it comes to Pokemon collecting. Silver borders are my favorite. But we got Persian EX, two of those PSA 8s. They're just really off-centered, but I like cats. The big cat Persian, Giovanni's pet, Pokemon, cool, nostalgic. We got a Macargo EX, PSA 9. Really clean copy of the card. This is another couple cards. If you see silver border EXs in the wild and they're clean, it's a no-brainer for me. Always be picking them up. They're hard to come by, man. They're hard to come by. They were played heavily as a kid. They were thrown away, yard sales, the whole shindig. You guys know. But we got the Rockets Raikou EX PSA 9. I just love how sparkly they are, how they pop. The artworks are incredible. Remind me of the early 2000s Pokemon, like animation 3D artworks. Just peak. Tyranitar EX from Unseen Forces PSA 9. I hope to own this in a 10 one day. I love Tyranitar, but this is a really rare card. Moving forward, we have not one, but two Raichu EX from Sandstorm. This was one of the last sets that I collected before I got out of Pokemon. And I've never owned this card, but I remember looking up the set list in like Beckett magazine or something back in the day and seeing this card and always wanting this. I've always wanted this card, so the little kid in me is like stoked. I'm able to come across two virtually perfect copies. Just, come on. Raichu and a lightning bolt. Early 2000s graphics. Insane. I also have a PSA 9 of that card just because I like it that much. I felt these were undervalued for a long time, and I picked them up when they were a lot cheaper than they are now. And a lot of you guys might say, oh, holy crap, you might reach out to me. Those are super expensive cards, but how much did you pay for that? I'm not really disclosing how much I paid for any of these, but I will say that I paid a lot less than what they are now because I've owned these for a while. Don't really talk about them, share them. This is kind of a first look. None of us are really going to live forever, but it's a good way to document, put this stuff on the internet. Where I live, there's a bunch of crazy fires going on, so you never know when a fire could just rip through and take everything you own, your house, everything, your whole collection away from you. So I just wanted to kind of put this out there, show some of my friends and other fellow collectors kind of what I've amassed and what I've been able to collect, and also just for memories, for myself, for personal documentation. If I was ever to lose it, I kind of know, hey, this is what I had. This is what I collected. This is a big one, guys. I bought a big collection maybe 3-4 years ago. Bunch of sealed, bunch of slabs. This was in it at the time. I've had offers as this thing has climbed in price. People have offered me tens of thousands of dollars. I've almost accepted a couple, but the artwork on this and how rare it is to find in a clean copy, I don't think there's going to be any more other PSA 10s that come out. I think it's a pop 72 or 82. There's less than 90 of these that exist in a PSA 10. But the artwork is just so menacing. Lugia, one of the legendary Pokemons, basically the second Charizard, Silver Charizard. This is just... it's one of those cards, guys. That's just one of those cards. Another one of those cards. Sneasel's one of my top 5 Pokemon. Again, I like that whole dark theme with the black on the Pokemon cards when those were introduced. Sneasel was kind of like a flagship evil Pokemon when it first came out. But this is the Team Rocket Sneasel from Team Rocket's Return EX set and a PSA 10. Got this when this was super cheap. Held on to it all this time, and I'm happy I did. It's a great card. Another very nostalgic card for me while I was growing up, one that I remembered, never had, If I did, I would have sold it like I did the rest of my collection, which I wish I never did, but here we are. Fast forward to the future, the Kabutops EX from Sandstorm. Such a beautiful card. I've noticed I'm drawn towards a lot of the menacing, like evil types of Pokemon. I don't know, it's kind of strange, but they have a certain look. This card I will die with. I will never sell this card. I still to this day look for copies of this card. I always will. This is my favorite Pokemon card that's maybe ever was created. You'll see some others that I'm really fond of in the stack too, but this is the Mew EX, guys, from Holland Phantoms, and a PSA 10. Just the artwork in this, the way the tail's in the foreground and it swirls around to make a spiral look. The colors, immaculate. This is top tier Pokemon. I also have a 10 of the card in a weird grading company, not sure what it is, but again, I'm always looking for this card. If you guys have clean copies of this card you're looking to sell, reach out. My DMs are always open. But the Mew EX from Holland Phantoms, such a great card. I have 2 PSA 9s. Honestly thought both of them looked clean enough to get a 10. We all know how PSA is, though. Very strict, very inconsistent. But one of these I graded. It was flawless. The other one I got from another serious collector who usually grades PSA 10s. He's very consistent and has cool vintage cards. But yes, I had to get that copy from him because I know his cards are always clean. Kind of going with the Mew EX theme. This is a card I wish I had in a 10. One day I will. But for now, I have 2 Mewtwo EXs from Ruby and Sapphire. One of the earlier EX series sets. And 2 PSA 9s. This card also has that early 2000s Nintendo Pokemon video game feel. I remembered it. I don't think I owned it when I was a kid, but I remember a lot of friends having it and just being obsessed with that card. So when I said the Mew EX was my favorite Pokemon card created, I bit my tongue a little bit because this is tied for first place. The Mew EX from Holland Phantoms and the Espeon EX from Unseen Forces. This is a really rare set to even get packs of, let alone the chases are all insane. All the silver borders from that set are top tier. All the legendaries, evolutions, really cool cards in that set. But Espeon EX just has that dark feel. The background is insane. I graded both of these cards. I sourced the Espeon EXs from Raw Collections, sent them in to get graded. At the time, I bought the cards raw for around $700-800, and the PSA 8s were around $1,300. Now, I believe the PSA 8s of this card are $2,000 or more. You can correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I know they're at least $1,800 for a PSA 8. And I graded both of these, so I for sure would have a hard time letting this go. And also, it's like my favorite card, the Espeon EX. I don't know what it is. The purple, the pinks, the blacks. It's just so good. And then an honorable mention. It's not a silver border EX, but it is a silver border. This was a special set from kind of an off-branch set. They didn't have a whole generations around it. It was kind of like a subset called Call of Legends. So there was a secret subset of shiny Pokemon. I believe there's nine of them, around 9, 7, 9, 12, something like that. But they're all legendary Pokemons and they're all shinies and they all have silver borders. It was my goal to collect them all at one point, raw, graded, however it came to be. I had a Suicune that was very clean. I sent off to get graded. It came back in 8. But it's just a shiny Suicune, different colors than the regular variant, all the shiny colors. And it's also got the silver border. So this is just a cool honorable mention to my silver border EX collection. One that I'll probably always have, always keep. I graded it. It was still a really clean card. Suicune, shiny Volt. or shiny subset Call of Legends. And that's it for the e-readers and Silver Border EX portion of my collection. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys have any questions, you guys have collections you're looking to sell, you see some of the cards that I mentioned that I really like, you have them raw or graded, reach out. Maybe we could do some business. Appreciate you guys for watching, and have a good rest of your day.